Welcome to Biology My Passion. I am Soumya Harikrishna. Now we are discussing the chapter Principles of Inheritance and Variation. In the first module, we discussed the experiments done by Mendel, story of Mendel, what was the reason for choosing garden pea as the experimental material, what are the features that favored the success of Mendel's experiments, and also what were the reasons for Mendel's work went unnoticed. We also discussed in detail the monohybrid cross, how to do it, and also two laws proposed by Mendel followed by monohybrid cross. The laws proposed by Mendel followed by monohybrid crosses are the law of dominance and law of segregation. After monohybrid cross, in your textbook, some exception to this law of dominance is given. We will first finish the Mendelian cross and then we will move on to the exceptions. So after completing his monohybrid cross involving a single character, Mendel started performing experiments including two characters at a time. For example, tall violet. Tall means it's a height of the plant, whereas violet means flower color. So here two characters are considered together, height as well as flower color. So such a cross involving two characters is called a dihybrid cross. So if you see the genotype, tall we can say tallness. So it is a dominant trait. So we take capital T. Twice we have to write because two alleles from both the parents. And violet also capital V. And it is the parental generation, so they are homozygous. Whereas dwarf is recessive, so small t, and white, small v. So if you do this cross, we are getting the ratio 9:3:3:1. Whereas round green, another example. Here round versus wrinkled, that's the shape of the seed. Whereas green and yellow, color of the seed. We know that when we consider shape of the seed, round is dominant and wrinkled is recessive. So capital R. This here comes small r. But what about the seed color? We know yellow is dominant, green is recessive. So here a recessive one is given, small y. Its dominant is capital Y. So both these experiments, if you do, you are going to get the cross at the end 9:3:3:1 ratio, which is the phenotypic ratio, and the genotypic ratio is 1:2:1, 2:4:2, 1:2:1. Okay. So here 9 probability. These 9 are like the first parent. 1 like the next parent. What about these two? Like new combinations. That is, this tall, first tall was with a violet flower, but tall with a white flower is also possible. The same way, violet with a dwarf. So two new combinations also formed. And Mendel found that when two characters are together at the time of crossing or the reproduction, the alleles of the characters are moving independent of each other. That means tall can move either with violet or with white. Nobody is prohibiting, right? The same way violet has an option to go with tall or dwarf. So that is called an independent assortment. Okay? He understood the characters or alleles of characters can segregate independently. So he formulated the law. But this law is not universal or it is not applicable everywhere. There are exceptions to this law also. We will learn about that later in this chapter. So I have done a detailed video on dihybrid cross for class 10. So the same is applicable for you also. So to avoid repetition, I am giving the link here. You can watch that and we will continue this lesson. So after 7 years of long experiments, Mendel concluded his work and posted all his findings in 1866 in the Scientific Magazine. And we learned it went unnoticed or unrecognized. But in 1884, due to some renal failure, Mendel passed away. But later, scientists rediscovered Mendel's studies and they found some variations also from the Mendel's theories later by the experiments. Posthumously, Mendel was considered father of genetics. Mendel's work or the crosses pointed out to general rules rather than specific ones that we already mentioned, but still it was not applicable to all the crosses conducted later, maybe in other plants or animals, exceptions from Mendelian theories. This is called a post-Mendelism, that is after Mendel's era. First, let us talk about an inheritance pattern called the incomplete dominance. Mendel's theories or monohybrid cross, we found one character is completely dominant over the other. There was no intermediate character or blending of characters, right? But later, after Mendel's time, antirrhinum or snapdragon was chosen, or dogflower. Antirrhinum is otherwise called a snapdragon or dogflower. All these are the different names of the same plant. Or mirabilis, it's a 4 o'clock plant. These plants showed a different type of inheritance pattern, that is flower color. Mendel, when crossed a violet, which is dominant flower, with a white, which is recessive, he got only violet flower in the F1 generation, and violet and white appeared in the ratio 3:1 in the F2. But here, when a red flower was crossed with a white flower from these two species of plants, red means what? It is the dominant trait, so we can write it as capital R, whereas white is small r, which is recessive. So the gamete will have only capital R here, here small r. So in the F1 generation, we are getting capital R, small r. Genotype is similar to Mendel's cross, but the appearance or the phenotype was different. So we are expecting red color like Mendel's theory, but here the flower appears to be pink. Okay, so here an intermediate character is appearing. That means this red color is not completely dominant over white like the Mendelian cases, right? So to find out what happened in this case, then the pink plants were self-pollinated, just like how Mendel followed his work. So capital R into small r into capital R into small r. So we get capital R, small r, capital R, small r, right? I'm just doing crisscross without Punnett square. Capital R, capital R. So it is obviously red because capital R homozygous is red. Second possibility, capital R, small r, which is pink. Third possibility, capital R, small r, that also pink because heterozygous conditions are intermediate. Last, that is white, recessive. So here, it's not the blending occurring. It's not that red is mixing with the white to form pink. But how can we say that it is not blending? Because if this was blending, we wouldn't have obtained the red and white again in the next generation. Since it is again pure white and pure red are there, means it was not blending. But here the reason is the capital R allele is partially dominant over small r, not completely dominant. Okay, so the expression is only partially dominant. This is called an incomplete dominance. Look at the genotypic ratio. Genotypic ratio is 1 capital R is to 2 capital R small r is to 1 small r. 1 is to 2 is to 1. This is exactly similar to Mendel's genotypic ratio for monohybrid cross. Whereas, look at the phenotypic ratio here. There we got 3 is to 1. Here, 1 red is to 2 pink is to 1 white. So, phenotypic ratio is deviating from Mendel's ratio, whereas genotypic ratio is the same. But here, in incomplete dominance, both genotypic as well as phenotypic ratios are the same. What is it? 1 is to 2 is to 1. So, to understand why the incomplete dominance happened or what is the effect of dominant allele, we have to now discuss on concepts of dominance. So, what do you mean by dominance or a recessive? Okay, so we know that it is actually the gene or allele means what? They are expressing a character. Character means what? Nothing but protein. So, what actually happens is, so a gene which is present on the DNA, we know it is through central dogma, it will become mRNA and it will become protein. Proteins means what? It can be an enzyme which is catalyzing a reaction. So in our body or a living system, every single reaction needs a catalyst or biological catalyst called an enzyme. So here suppose there is a substrate. which needs to be converted into product. Without enzyme, this process is not possible. So that is called a gene expression. So a gene is expressing means it is producing an enzyme. So now let us see how is the expression of a dominant and recessive alleles of a gene are different. If this enzyme is efficient, then the substrate will completely turn into product. But if this enzyme is not efficient, will the completion of a reaction occur? Need not. Sometimes it may form some product or the product may not form at all. So in the case of dominant or homozygous condition, imagine these are two chromosomes if you consider. So here is one allele, for example, for violet flower. Okay, and here is another one, that is again both are same, it is capital V. So both are identical, then we call it as homozygous. So if both are homozygous alleles, then this is a dominant allele, right? So a dominant allele will produce efficient enzyme to make the flower color violet, to produce that pigment, violet color pigment properly. So both the alleles are equally powerful in creating violet color pigment. So definitely the flower is going to be violet. No question about it, right? But imagine another situation where it is a different allele. So that different allele is referred to as modified allele. Modified allele, or rather the recessive allele. The recessive allele can have three expressions. So the modified allele can have three effects. First case, normal, it is normal or less efficient. That means it's almost as good as the dominant allele, or it is little less efficient. That is, here it is producing a very dominant effect, that means proper pigment formation. Here it is a modified allele. It can be as good as the first one, then original violet will get. Otherwise less efficient, but still the flower color will be violet. But in the second case, the modified allele can be non-functional enzyme, or the modified allele can produce non-functional enzyme. In such case, in this part there is no contribution coming from here. Only from here the contribution is coming. Or the next case, no enzyme is produced at all. Even then, then substrate will not convert into product. So there also no effect is produced. So in these two cases, there is no effect from the second allele, or its contribution is nil. It's simply sitting there without doing anything. So the whole responsibility of expression of character, or the whole responsibility of converting substrate to product lies in the unmodified allele or the dominant allele. Okay. So, will that be equal in effect like the first one? No, because here phenotype is a collection or effort of two equally powerful alleles, whereas here one is working hard but the other one contribution is nil. So, the phenotypic expression may not be the same. So, such expressions are called or modified alleles or recessive alleles. Hope you all understood the concepts we discussed today. Incomplete dominance and a concept of dominance. If you like my videos, please like, share and subscribe to my channel Biology My Passion.